In this video, I want to share a fun little game I just got introduced to called The Lie from Devir Games. Hey gang, thanks for joining us at Tangent Mouse Studio 3. I'm Will.
I'm Ryan, and today we're looking at The Lie by Devir. This is a 2 to 6 player game, and basically there's going to be cards all strewn throughout the table. You'll be drafting cards, and you want to be the first one to get rid of all of your cards.
Devir was kind enough to send us this review copy. It literally just arrived in the mail, so we're interested in checking it out. Let's see what it looks like on the table.
Setup is easy. You throw all of the cards out, you spread them out on the table, and players are going to simultaneously start taking cards into their hand.
Each card they pull into their hand must go either to the left or to the right of the cards that they're already holding. And you aren't allowed to make any adjustments. Gotta hold them the way you pull them.
Now here's the cool thing. What you see on the back of the card is only half of the truth. The value of the card or the color of the card is correct, but the other is a lie.
The first player to draft 12 cards into their hand is going to shout out, "I'm done," or whatever they want to shout. And then everyone else does get to finish drafting their cards, but the player who shouted it out is going to be the one that goes first in the next phase.
In the next phase, they're going to play cards from their hand to the table in turn order, clockwise.
And they can play up to 3 cards of the same color. They do have to match the color that was led, and whoever plays the highest number each round is going to win the trick, and then they're going to get to lead off the next trick. So, for example, if the first player laid 2 cards, making a 21, the next player would have to pass because they don't have enough red cards, and then the third player could play 444 to win the trick.
The first player to play all of their cards out of all of their hand is going to win the round, and they're going to win rewards. So whoever gets first place, they get to take 3 cards from the middle, and those cards will count toward their scoring at the end.
And then the player who has the most points at the end from all those cards that they've collected is going to actually win the game. So this is a speed drafting game where you are trying to be kind of fast. You're also trying to be strategic. You don't really know what's on the other side of that card, but I'm still picking the 4s, hoping that they're 4s anyway.
Yes.
Or at least I'm picking the color. So I've got some yellows on this side, I got some reds. I'm picking the yellow 4, hoping it's either 4 or yellow or red, sticking it in, and then I'm trying to do it quick enough that I do get to play that first trick. Having control of the trick, getting to lead is powerful in this game.
Yep.
And so the first one is going to be important as well, for sure.
And then the other dynamic is based on how your cards are laid out in your hand, there might be times where, okay, I got a wombo combo, I'm going to play a bunch of these, but there might be other ones where, okay, I have a red 1 in the middle of my wombo combo, maybe I'll do that, I won't win this trick, but the hope is I can play my wombo combo later, I can gain back control and then get rid of more cards after that.
Right, it is kind of fun. You have 12 cards in your hand, which gives you a lot to work with at the beginning. I usually am trying to get strategically, I'm trying to get as many of the same color as I can, because if you lead multiple times with that color, you're potentially draining it out of their hands, which is nice. And then it also gives you a bunch of combinations. So whenever I'm adding my cards, I'm hoping that 4 ends up on the left.
Yes.
So that I can play 411 or whatever. And then sometimes it's like, I got 4-3-2 and I've got 2-3-1. Well, maybe I only need a 2-3-1 to win this trick, but that still leaves me with 43 or whatever for the next one. It's really neat how you can pull them out of the middle, which is a lot of fun. Yeah,
and then the drafting phase, just the dynamic of, okay, I have 3 blue cards. Gosh, just let me get 1 more blue card. That's the red 2. Okay, let me see if I can get some red stuff. Yellow. No! So just having that dynamic of, okay, I have to work with what I have, and I'm stuck with the order that I have, so how do I do this best? And, sometimes you're going to win them, sometimes you're going to lose them, but that dynamic adds a very interesting thing into the mix.
It does. I like that it kind of feels like 2 games. Like there is, the speed drafting in and of itself is kind of a game, because you are trying to be smart with it, you're trying to build up your hand as fast as you can. Then you move on to phase 2. We've played this at a couple different player counts.
Yeah.
At every player count, the drafting feels the same, which is cool. You're just getting the cards, put them in your hand. However, the playing of the cards does have quite a bit of variance between player count. When you're playing a 2-player game, it's nail biter. You have to be really strategic about what order you play your cards in, because you don't want to be stuck with a single 1, as your last card, or as your second to last card. It's fine to go out with that 1. It has that trick-taking feel, which is nice. At multiple player counts, though, it's going to change up a whole lot how your cards are coming out onto the table.
One of the things that I like about this game is the setup is easy. You just throw the cards into the middle and you are ready to roll. So if you have a group of people that the more complex games are going to be difficult for them, this is a great light game for people that they dig card games and they just want to jump into something. You don't want to have to explain something really quick or really hard. Yeah. So I do think for me with this kind of game, I think the bigger player count is the sweeter spot with it because it adds that more complex dynamic to the mix. When it's 1v1,
right, you would want it to be more strategic if it was a 1v1. This is more of a party game, so
yeah,
it makes sense to have.
Yeah, whereas, okay, if I have a red one and a yellow one and then a blue one, I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do with that, whereas when you have 6 people in the mix, yeah, that's not going to help me, but there could be things that I could do later down the road and you might be able to hose someone else because of that color. So I like that dynamic of it.
I think Devir does a really good job with their card games. One other one that I would just mention that I've been playing is called Flash 10, and it's a similar like speed drafting, put your pile together game, and I enjoyed this one a lot. It's actually a lot of fun. However, I love the look of this one on the table versus this. These cards, I don't know, I didn't love the color scheme. The gameplay is fine and is fun, but I feel like this one just got replaced because the lie looks cool, it introduces some neat ideas, the fact that I'm lying about what's on the back of the card is fun. I feel like this has potential to be a winner on a lot of fronts because it looks good, it plays easy, it is fun, it's got the replayability, so I enjoyed it. If it looks like something you would enjoy, be sure to check it out from Devir. And then as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, following along, liking all of our videos here at Tantrum Mouse. Excellent.
Peace! Into their hand all at the same time.
Each.
Oh, I said simultaneously and then all at the same time.
One more time.
Deuce them into something that's a bit on the different side. I don't think I'm doing well.
Each card they pull, blah, blah, blah. Now, when I say that they're going to play the cards, I literally turned off the alarm. Stop.
You're killing me, Smalls.